All right, I'm gonna do trimming again. This time I'm gonna use my own tool, trimming tool, to do the trimming. But again, before you trim, make sure it is in the right stage to trim, and also to get the right thickness estimate. Or if you have my tool, it's easy to get the more accurate reading. Check the inside and then pull out and check the outside. Or you can put two pieces together. Okay. So if you have three pieces, you will notice right away the inside and outside, and then you subtract to get the thickness. I already checked it, so the outside reading, which will be a larger, okay, outside, and then the inside reading is 89 and 76. So you subtract 89 to 76, you come up with 13 millimeters. Okay, 13. So I know before I started how thick the bottom. 13 is about a little bit more than half an inch. Okay, a little bit more than half an inch. All right, so that's the checking the thickness. And also, I want to show you two different ways of getting your piece to anchor down on the wheel head. Normally, I don't like to trim my part on a bed unless you have a bed pin there, which is in the way. Then you probably there's no choice. You have to do it on your bed. But for me, I just remove my bed pin and trim it right on the wheel head. Okay, so the first, I want to show you how, without getting the clay coil, and you can also glue or fix your part on the wheel head. So normally I will use a sponge to wet the rim a bit, and then roughly where the contact on the wheel head, and I use the sponge to wet it too. So a little bit of water here and a little bit of water on the part. And make sure that your part is a little firmer, especially on the rim. Right. After that, because sometimes when you have water on it, it's very easy to get your piece stick on the wheel head already. So if you want to do this without any clay to hold down your pot, you just want to use water. Make sure you learn how to tap sander. Okay, tap sander. So you use a tap sander, so you will still be able to move your clay. And once you find your sander, and all you need to do is just get your hold on, okay, maybe a little pressure on your pot, and then your pot is stick. Okay, so that's how you now this is not movable. Okay, instead of using a clay coil to anchor down your pot, you can do that. Okay, you can do that. I want to show you how to practice your tap sandering. Okay. Normally, you don't want to use your actual piece to do your practice. So I know a lot of you have a chuck like that, or in the studio, you share the studio, they have a chuck like that. You can use a chuck to practice. Okay. Most of the chuck, they have been bisque. Okay. So use the chuck to practice. How do you practice? You want to know which spot is off center, and then you tap it in. Okay, you push the spot and put it toward the center. And so this part here, and I usually will recommend you get your reference. Okay, get your reference. Maybe you can put a piece of clay right on your splash pan and find a wooden stick. Just put it right there. Use a clay to hold it down. That way, okay, you have an idea when the up-sander comes to the tip of the stick, see that when it comes to here, it's closer, so you know that spot is off. So your eyesight is focused on the spot, and then once the up-sander come to this point, okay, this is about 4 o'clock position, okay, 4 o'clock position, and your hand gets ready, okay, gets ready. See that? It depends on how fast you spin your wheel, okay. If your wheel spin faster, then your hand has to move fast, okay. And if your wheel spinning slower, then you can move slower, okay. So just find the rhythm, okay. You can hear the sound, right? Off, 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 off. So when you find the off comes to here, your left hand gets ready. And the reason why I like to use the left hand is sometimes my right hand, I'm right-hander, when I'm trimming, my right hand is holding the tool, so my left hand is free, so use the left hand to do that, okay. Here, 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 here. Okay, so that's how you practice. And I don't know how fast you move your wheel and how fast you move your hand to tap on the spot. You have to practice, okay, practice. Or you can move your reference. If you are moving your hand faster, you can move your reference here, okay, or even here to practice, okay. But I find a better way is you can just use a hand, okay, as a reference instead of the wooden stick. Then you move it away. So here I can put my right hand here and feel that the up-sander come. See that? The right hand. And then I'm tapping the clay onto my right hand. Okay. So when I feel the clay, the chuck is touching my left hand gets ready. But when the chuck is touching my right hand, my left hand get ready, and then my left hand get ready and slap on it. Okay. Okay. So one more time. Okay, you can use your fingertip as a reference. Okay, so that's how you practice your tap centering. And use a chuck, okay, because chuck is a little bit heavier. And sometimes if you use a lighter piece, it might come out easily. So use your chuck to practice. All right, and why I like to use the water to get the clay stick on the wheel is that way I could trim all the way to the rim, okay, without clay in the way, okay, without clay in the way. So when I'm choosing that way is because I like to trim it all the way down to the rim. Okay, a little bit pressure on the clay stick, okay, the clay stick. All right, and then now I want to define where is my foot ring. So using a the tip of my tool to make a mark. So this will be my foot ring, and then I can trim the rest of clay off. Roughly cut. And this tool is my number 3 carbide tool. Okay, tungsten carbide is very hard material, and it can stay sharp for a very long time. So I'm using this for the heavy lifting. You trim it all the way to here. Maybe design a little bit of the foot. And sometimes if you find the tool is chattering, you can change the holding angle, okay, and change the cutting point. Especially when your clay is too wet, it's easy to get the chattering, okay, when using my carbide tool. So make sure you trim your clay a little bit drier, okay. They either hard or between they either hard to bone dry. That's the stage, because the tool is very hard, so it doesn't matter when the clay is a little bit drier. So I talk about the 13 millimeters. So I'm going to lift this part about 3 millimeters. So meaning I could go down 10. Okay, 10 is very deep. Right now, I want to stop and then check it how deep I already cut through. Okay, cut it down. I'm gonna bring back my measuring tool and do that. So it's about 8. Okay, it's about 8. So I have 2 more to go. Okay. Right, so for the heavy lifting, I'm using my number 3 carbide tool. Now I want to bring my number 2 carbide tool. Okay, because I have a very good 90 degrees, so I'm going to use the 90 degrees to take care of the inside corner, also the outside corner. Right, so the inside corner is good. And I want to double check to see if it's the right thickness. Right, exactly 10. Okay, exactly 10. So I will stop right here. And now I know that this is about 3 millimeters. Okay, 3 millimeters. Now you can knock it, right? So you memorize the sound, 3 millimeters. Later on, when you trim the similar piece, similar dryness, you don't need to depend on the measuring tool. You can just by knocking it, all right? So that's the right stage, stop, okay? So that's the other good reason to have that measuring tool to get it more accurate. And now, since this part is accurate, the right thickness, then I would compare the inside corner and outside corner. So I'm cutting the clay down. Right, so that's pretty good. And now I'm checking to see if the foot ring is nicely stable enough, but still the whole piece looks elegant. So I think this is a little bit wide, so I will cut a little bit smaller. Right, usually I like to use the carbide tool to do all the heavy lifting because the edges start stay sharp longer. But very final stage, sometimes you want to, when you're using carbide tool, the surface is not going to be as smooth as versus using the steel and also the stainless steel tool. So you could use the carbide tool to remove the most of the clay. But final stage, you can bring back the my stainless steel trimming tool and do the final refining the surface. And when you're using the stainless steel trimming tool, the surface will be much smoother and nicer. Okay, or if you don't have the stainless trimming tool, there's one other way to do this. Put a little bit of water to wet the surface a bit. Then let the water absorb away a little bit. Let the water absorb, and then you can use a rubber rib to burnish the surface. Let me burnish the foot first. Right, so let the water absorb, and then bring the rubber rib, or you can use the metal rib too. So you can burnish, make the surface a bit smoother. The metal rib. Right, so that's how you treat your surface. And one other bonus I want to show you is for chattering. Okay, chattering. So forget the chattering. You can use any kind of tool that if you know how, you can use any kind of tool to get your chattering mark. But this is my special design, special length of the tool. It's easy to get the chattering mark. Okay, chattering mark. before you run through the chattering, it only take like a couple minutes. Okay, maybe not even 1 minute. But make sure that your clay is not too dry. Okay, not too dry. If the clay is too dry, you won't be able to cut it deeper. Okay, so if your clay is a little bit dry, water and burnish it. Okay, make it a little bit softer. Okay, and second, if you're using the tip to cut the chattering mark, make sure the tip is very sharp. Okay, can sharpen it. Okay, use the file to sharpen it. And then when chattering, you want the tool to be able to jump. Okay, jump. So you want to hold the tool a bit longer. Okay, from this, usually I'm holding till the end of it. Okay, a little bit longer. So it helps the tool to vibrate, And then also you want when the wheel is spinning, you want the clay to kick back your tool. Okay, so that your tool start to jump. So you have to hold it at a certain angle. Okay, and also apply a little bit pressure. Okay, not too light. I know a lot of people when they start to chatter, they hold the tool too light. Okay, a little bit pressure. Okay. And spin the tool, the wheel a tiny little bit faster. Okay, you want to spin this is too slow. Okay, a bit faster. Okay, a bit faster. Right, and then depending on how wide the jumping point. Okay, if the jumping point wider, this is the angle. Okay, if you have a wider angle, the jumping point, the distance will be larger. Okay, larger. If you have holding a smaller angle, the distance will be smaller. So you have to practice. Okay, just give you an idea, because a lot of variations, how you hold your tool and how sharp your tool, how dry your clay, and how fast you move your wheel and how fast you move your hand, they all play a very important role for how the chatter mark look. Okay. So this is my initial chattering. The chattering distance is smaller. I was using the left hand corner. Okay, the left hand side. Focus more on the left hand side corner. Okay, this is my first chattering mark. And I usually like to define it. Okay, using the corner to mark 2 lines. Okay. And then I'm going to focusing on the right hand corner of the tool to make the chatter mark. So I was using different part of tool, left hand corner to get this texture, and the right hand corner to get this texture. The distance is smaller. Okay. And then at the very final stage, I usually like to get my stamp, just stamp on the foot. So the stamp is smaller. It's smaller than the foot, so it's easy. And I don't need to sign it, just put my stamp on it. All right, if you are using the water to get your piece to stick on the wheel head, sometimes it might be harder for you to remove, especially if your clay is too soft. It might get your foam or warp, okay, get your piece warp. So make sure when you're doing that, your clay still is stiffer. You can just hold it and then push that away. Okay, push that away, or can bring it in. So that's the trimming of the bowl. Okay, hope this helped, and practice on tap centering. And if you haven't learned the tap centering, just center the way on my previous video. I believe it's video number 509. Okay, 509. So 509 for the basic how to put your piece in the center. But for tap centering, if you learn the skill, it's a very good skill to have, and you will appreciate it when you have the skill. All right, so thanks for watching, and see you next time.